Guys, what's going on? Welcome to Serial at Midnight. My name is Heath, and this is a 5-minute review for the movie The Kitchen, starring Melissa McCarthy, Elizabeth Moss, and Tiffany Haddish. This is a mafia movie. It is a blood and guts mafia movie, but it's told from a different perspective, and it's actually that perspective that I think makes this movie unique and actually really special. I'm going to go as far as to say that I think this movie is fantastic. One of the things that appeals to me about this movie is, you know, there's a grand tradition of the Hollywood mafia movie. Particularly the time that I was growing up and the time that I came to movies, we had Carlito's Way, we had Donnie Brasco, even Blow in the early 2000s. And it's been a while since I feel like we really got a movie like that. And The Kitchen is that movie. Now, if you've seen a lot of mafia movies, if you've seen a lot of mob movies, there's a lot of stuff here that is recognizable because I think a lot of things have been done in that genre or that subgenre, whatever you want to call it. I think a lot of the territory has been covered. And of course, we're all living in the shadow of what Martin Scorsese has done with Goodfellas. So this movie does manage to carve out its own unique voice. The premise, this is a non-spoiler review, but the premise is that these are mob wives. Their husbands get sent to the can to do some time. There's a vacuum left in their lives. They can't pay for their food. They have to figure out a way to live. The family is not taking care of them like it's supposed to. So these three mob wives kind of go into business for themselves, and it's that rise to power, that Scarface level of like from nothing to the top, that kind of thing, and then with all the pitfalls, and then the whole wet works of like how it can get ugly and how relationships can get damaged. And it's really cool. I don't want to tell you guys any more about it because I think that this movie really needs to be seen. It needs to be discovered. Also worth mentioning that this is a comic book movie. Though it is a mafia movie, there are virtually no special effects as far as you know what? The movie takes place in 1978. There's a shot of the Twin Towers. So I'm sure there's some special effects, but there's no one flies or anything like that, okay? But it's a mafia movie, but it's a comic book story. This started in DC's Vertigo line. Vertigo, of course, the famous line from DC where creators could tell smaller personal stories, kind of like the auteur segment of DC Comics. And it's fantastic. Listen, this is a movie that I was kind of on the fence about seeing. I wasn't on the fence about seeing it. I knew that I was going to go see it, but I wasn't necessarily looking forward to it as an experience. But as soon as I'm in there and the movie starts, I'm going to tell you guys that it's set in 1978, and they use the old school 70s Warner Brothers logo, the 70s New Line Cinema logo. It has a fantastic 70s soundtrack. Some of them are kind of on the nose, some of them are kind of played, but there's a lot of deeper cuts too. This is a movie that is really immersing you in the atmosphere. And as soon as this movie started to wash over me, I told my wife when I got home, I was like, I just realized it's one of those movies where you're like, cinema! And though it is a comic book, this is cinema. And you know, a lot of people complain these days. We do these 5-minute reviews. We see everything, and we hear a lot of complaints from people saying, well, they don't make movies like they used to. They don't make them like they did in the 70s and the 80s. Well, this is one of those kinds of movies, and it needs support. This is a very small movie. It was written and directed by a woman who does a great job and brings that perspective that we have not seen before. You know, Donnie Brasco, Carlito's Way, Blow, from a different perspective. And I think that is so cool, and it's so welcome, and this movie pulls no punches whatsoever. Listen, this is one of the darkest movies of the entire year so far. It's August as I'm recording this video, and movie is released. It is one of the darkest movies I've seen all summer. All year. There's not a lot of laughter in there, but it is great. The three leads are fantastic. There's some men. Domhnall Gleeson, who a lot of you guys will know as General Hux, he's in the movie. He's fantastic as well. Listen, go see this movie. This is a wonderful discovery. Don't say, well, they don't make them like they used to. They do, and this movie needs our help. If we want movies that aren't just superhero films, huge, big-budget blockbusters, remakes, comic book movies based on superheroes, things like that, we got to support these smaller movies. This one definitely needs and deserves our support. I think this is already on my top 10 list for the entire year. So for what that's worth, this one shot shot right into my top 10 list. So guys, go see The Kitchen. It is a fantastic piece of mafia cinema in the style of a 90s crime movie. I think it's really fantastic. So thanks for hanging out, watching this 5-minute review. Have you seen it? Will you see it? What did you think about it? Let's talk about it in the comments below. Guys, thank you so much. Take care. And until next time, I will catch you later.